Hey, YouTubers. This is your girl, KeishaNicole.com. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Janita, how are you? Hey, Gavin, what's going on? What's popping? How's everybody doing on tonight? We are about to be all the way live. Yes, this is going to be 28 days of reviving your relationship. We're going to talk about it. If you know me, and you know, I really don't do the Valentine's Day type of a situation. However, we do try to make sure that we motivate you guys to stay in love, be in love, grow to love. Hey, Jenny, how are you? So that's what we're talking about on tonight. I'm going to give you days 1 through 7 that you need to make sure that you have some pen and paper. Get ready to write them down. We're going to expound on them as well. Hey, Sean, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. We have about 5 more minutes before we actually get started. Hey, Edgar, how are you? Before we get started right here on D30radio.com, you already know my house rules. First rule is make sure that you're in a place where you can become comfortable and relax. Second rule, make sure that you have you a good drink on hand. You already know I always got a good drink on hand. But most importantly, remember that we are all grown. So let's make sure that we respect one another and what we have going on. Hey, Marcus, how are you? We're going to have some giveaways as well. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some Dear Keisha Nicole. Y'all already know, if you have been tuning in, the Dear Keisha Nicole letters have been quite interesting. We're going to talk about Empire's actor Jussie Smollett and the incident that took place on Wednesday with him. We're going to do some birthday shout outs for you guys. I'm going to talk about the quote of the day. We're going to recap on some stuff that we discussed on last week. Hey, Jimmy, how are you? On last week, we discussed about some relationships and how to revive those things, how to get started, how to maintain. Hey, Janice. And we're going to talk about, give you some great sex tips. So y'all already know when I give the sex tips, y'all know my motto, hashtag invest in your sex. Yes, we're going to have some dope sex tips on tonight as well. And like I said, I'm going to give you the first 7 days of the 28 days of reviving your relationship series. All you'll need to do is join me at D30radio.com so that you can be able to tune in, listen, take some notes, laugh with me, joke around, because it's always something crazy that's happening on the airwaves with me for whatever reason. Hey, Alfred, how are you? Like I said, we're going to get started exactly at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Richard. Make sure that you all like, comment, tag, and share this live post. If you are joining me on my YouTube channel, what up, what up, what up? Yes, it's about to go all the way down. Let me make sure that I have everything in order so that way I can communicate with all of you there. Hey, Marcus, how are you? Because I want to make sure that we are in a place of communication on every facet, okay? Hey, Dwight, how are you? You already know what's about to happen, Dwight. Y'all make sure that y'all like, comment, tag, and even share out this broadcast. I'll be posting up, hopefully momentarily, the link that you can follow so you can hear the show. But make sure that you join me on D30radio.com. It's very simple. And we're going to get it popping, y'all. We have a lot to discuss on tonight. Hey, Eric, how are you? We have a lot to discuss on tonight. And like I said, if you are just now joining me, I truly appreciate you. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support, y'all, because this is not the easiest thing to do, but some kind of way I make it happen. Yes. Hey, Sherry, how are you, boo? So y'all already know, make sure that you're in a place that you can relax. First rule. Second rule, make sure that you have you a good drink on hand. Most importantly, the last rule, we are all grown, so we have our own opinions. Let's make sure that we respect one another during that time frame of opinion giving. So you may not like what I have to say, and that's perfectly fine. You can express that opinion, but do it in a respectful way. That's all I ask. Okay, so we're going to get started momentarily. You already know I got to get my radio voice going. Hey, Jerry, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Y'all get ready to join me over on D30radio.com. Make sure that you like, comment, tag, and share out the broadcast because it's about to go down. If we get cut off on Facebook for whatever reason, Facebook Live, always come and join me on D30radio.com, as well as my YouTube channel, also known as Keidra Nicole. So I am everywhere. You don't have to stop in one place. Yes. Y'all know I like to get started on time, so that's why I keep looking at the clock like, it's not started yet. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Hey, Jerry, take me a good little swig. And we're going to get it popping. It is 7 o'clock. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. This is your girl, Keidra Nicole. I am here with you on tonight. I'm super excited because today is the last day of January. I promise you, I swear for goodness, January did not want to let us go. I'm sick of it. I know y'all were sick of it as well because, oh, child, it was just too much. I swear, this whole thing, it wanted to drag out. I could have sworn, like, one of my followers, they were saying how it just seemed like the month went on to about 500 days or more. Because January is the craziest time frame because you're trying to get the new year, new you going, as well as everything else that you have going on. You're trying to catch up. Are you trying to get started? Are you trying to get your stuff in order so you can get ready to file your taxes or whatever you have going on? So I'm just glad, and I'm glad about it, that January, as of today, when that 12 midnight hit, it will be over. So, yeah, we're going to give a few hand claps of praise on that. So shouts out to all of my live listeners, but most importantly, shouts out to even my listeners that hear me on the Spotify app, on the iTunes podcast app, as well as even going back on the D30radio.com and checking out my podcast there. Hey, y'all. I really appreciate each and every one of you once again. But before we get this entire show started, we have to give some shout outs to our sponsors of the week. So let's get those cracking, and I will be back momentarily. Y'all doing all right? Thank you once again for joining me. This is your girl, Keidra Nicole. We are getting started. If you are tuned in with me on D30radio.com, then you will be able to hear everything that I am playing. I have also posted the link below. Make sure that I post it on my YouTube channel as well. Hey, Lamar, how are you? All right. Right now, I'm just doing all of my commercials from all of our sponsors of the week. Hey, 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 YouTubers, what's going on? Thank you guys so much for joining in with me. Be sure to like, comment, tag, and share out the broadcast. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? We're live right here on D30radio.com. Just trying to get everything situated. When I first start, sometimes it gets a little hectic. Want to make sure that I have everything in place. You can hear everything that I'm listening to right here, right now. So I'm extremely excited about today. We're going to be going over lots of information. And we're going to be talking about a lot of fun and dope topics on today. So y'all make sure that you stay tuned in. Like, comment, tag, and share. I will be doing some birthday and anniversary shout outs as well. So stay tuned in. That's right. That's right. Don't get in your own way. If you have a business, if you have an event coming up, make sure that you hit me up at Dear Keidra Nicole at gmail.com, and I'll be able to allow you to become a sponsor on my show, Reviving Relationships, as well as being a sponsor to other hot shows right here on D30 Radio, the hottest and trendiest internet radio station of all time. Yes, I said it. You can quote me on it. Ain't no stopping it. All right. So first of all, I must get into the quote of the day. All right. Because y'all already know I got to be a little deep every now and again. So let me make sure that I get us a good, nice, deep, sentimental type of a thought. I'm going to clear my throat so I can make sure that I have it all ready. All right, here we go. The quote of the day is brought to you by myself, Keidra Nicole. And the quote goes like this. It says, "Stop waiting for something good to happen and take authority to ensure that something good will happen." Let me say this one more time. Stop waiting for something good to happen and take authority to ensure that something good will happen. What are you talking about, Keidra Nicole? Well, what I'm talking about is a lot of times we sit back and we wait on things to happen for us. We sit back and we twiddle our thumbs and we're like, when is something good going to happen for me? When is something good going to... I don't do nothing. I don't hurt anybody. I don't mess with nobody's feelings. When is it going to happen for me? It happened to my friend, but it won't happen for me. What's wrong with me? But we never take time to take authority of it. What is it that you want to happen for you? Like, okay, say for instance, with the entire shutdown thing. And, you know, believe you me, I was a part of the shutdown. So I understand the pain of not having your money, not being able to take care of your obligations and responsibilities. And when you're in something, it's like, oh my goodness, what in the world is going to happen? What am I supposed to do? But then you realize there's nothing that you can do about that part, but you can control how you handle it. No, I couldn't pay my bills on time like I wanted to, or like I need to, or like I'm used to doing. No, I couldn't go out and go get my nails done like I'm used to doing. But I made the most of it. I still made sure that my kids ate. I still made sure that we were all decent. I still made sure that we all laughed and we talked. And I took authority of it. And I just said, you know, now I ain't gonna front. For a moment, it had me down, okay? It had me down, and I just had to think and regroup on all of that stuff because I was like, Lord, you got to do something. So I had to regroup. But when I did, I took authority of it and said, I won't allow this to control me. The shutdown may control my money. It may control what I can do with my money and how I maneuver, but it will not control me. And once I did that, that's when the favor and the mercy and the grace started happening. For those that go to church, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's when all of that started happening. So that's what I mean by taking authority over your happiness. Taking authority over the things. Now, it's just some things you can't change. Like, you can't change people and how they maneuver and how they act. You can't change that and the things that they do and what they've done. But you can change you. If it's something that you want, go after it. Go after it and take it with authority and saying, it's mine. Nobody can take it from me. It's mine. And I'm going to make sure that everybody knows that it's mine. So once again, I would have to say, stop waiting for something good to happen and take authority to assure that something good will, W-I-L-L, in all caps, will happen. You have that right. What's yours is yours, and can't nobody take it from you. Can't nobody steal it unless you allow them to. Unless you allow them to steal your joy. Unless you allow them to steal your happiness. Unless you allow them to steal your peace. Outside of that, it is up to you. Take it. Take it by the reins. Take it by the horn. You got this. You're going to make it. Stop waiting for something good to happen and take authority to ensure that something will happen. And you can find that particular quote in my book, Organic Thoughts. And if you're wondering how can you purchase that book, simply go to my website at KedraNicole.com. KedraNicole.com. You will find that quote and so many other quotes, inspirational quotes that'll help you throughout the day, or that'll give you something to think on and kind of hone in on and say, you know what? I have this. My particular book isn't based upon, I'm going to give you what I think you should think, and that's it. No, I'm going to give you what I thought of, but it's up to you to make your own interpretation of that. Not read in between no lines, but to make your own interpretation of what it means for you. It may have meant something completely different for me, but it may mean something completely for you. So you can purchase that book as well as my other book, Reviving Relationships, Righting My Wrongs in Order to Make Yours Right, right at KedraNicole.com. So I appreciate everybody for that little snippet and that little moment, because sometimes we just have to sit back and reflect before we get into all the other stuff. If we never taking time to reflect, it just doesn't make sense at all to keep on pushing through. So last week, we talked about reviving relationships. So we're going to do a quick recap on that because it was extremely interesting to hear your thoughts and your what your interpretations of everything. Last week we discussed making sure that you keep unnecessary arguments down. We also discussed the 5 love languages and how to depict on which one of those should reflect upon you or what makes you who you are. And I also advise you that you can have more than one love language. I think it's very rare that you have all 5. But if you have one that's more than the rest of them, then typically you just have that one. We also talked about knowing the difference between intentional dating and just being pushy with what you desire. And what I mean by that is, you know, what are your intentions when you start dating somebody? For me, my intentions is to be in a committed relationship that can grow into something on the into a lot more that will lead to the full commitment of marriage, whereas we can become partners as one. So that would be my intentional dating purpose. Not saying if you don't marry me by 12 o'clock midnight, then we can't be together. So those are two completely different things. We also talking about making sure that you effectively communicate with your partner. Effectively communicating with your partner is simply just being open, being honest. Now, I know in the beginning stages of each relationship, you're kind of afraid to do that because of how people maneuver, how people can be the sweetest person ever today and just the crappiest person on tomorrow. So I get it. So you don't have to, but eventually you need to get to a place, if it's been more than a few months or a few years, a year, then it's time to have some intentional conversations to be a little bit more open and honest with your partner. So that's what we're talking about right now as well. We also talked about knowing the difference. Well, first of all, we talked about being happy with who you are. That's a lot of things that a lot of people don't do. And we're not always happy with who we are. And then we jump into relationships and we completely ruin another person because of that situation. So make sure that you're happy with who you are and learn how to contribute to individuals instead of just always wanting somebody to contribute to you. Make sure that you're contributing happiness unto others. It's not your job to make someone happy. I think we get that mixed up a lot of times. Oh, you don't make me happy. It's not a person's job to make you happy. It's up to them to be happy first and for you to contribute into their already organized happiness. And then be okay with accepting the contribution as well. So it's a give and take situation, and we also talked about that as well. And y'all, we just talked about so much. If you want to know everything that we discussed on last week, definitely make sure that you go over to D30radio.com, or you can go over to the Spotify app and search Reviving Relationships, as well as on your iTunes podcast app and search for Reviving Relationships. And you can hear every last podcast that I've done since the beginning, and make sure that you catch up. Also, make sure that you give me some good ratings and a bunch of stars, because I like a lot of stars. So, yes, and that's what's going to lead us into tonight's topic. 28 days of reviving your relationship, the series. So, no, I am not going to give you all 28 days tonight. That's just too much. So what we're going to do, we're going to break it down. I'm going to give you the first 7 days. So days 1 through 7 on tonight. I ask that maybe you want to get you a pen and paper. And even for those that are single, even get your pen and paper, because sometimes you never know. You can end up in a relationship on tomorrow. So make sure that you get your pen and paper. Be ready to take some notes, and then we're going to get to it. But before we do that, let's do another quick commercial break from this week's sponsors, and then we're going to get it back cracking, because I have so much information that I want to give each and every one of you. It is about to go all the way down on tonight. I'm super excited. So make sure that you stay tuned. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me right here on D30radio.com. I am your girl, Keidra Nicole. Of course, I do have some house rules. The first house rule is to make sure that you're in a place where you are able to relax and be ready to just be open. The second house rule is to make sure that you have your good drink on hand. Yes, yes, yes. Whatever you prefer to drink on, your wine, your liquor, your beer, your Kool-Aid, your tea, whatever works best for you. Most importantly, which is the last rule, make sure that you understand that we are all grown, so everybody has their own opinion. It's perfectly fine to share your opinion, but make sure that you're being respectful of the ones that do that as well. So it's not no cat fight and all that carrying on. Hey, Gino. Hey, Caramel. Hey, Bruce. What's going on? Y'all make sure that y'all join me right now on D30radio.com. I have shared the link below with you guys. I'll also share it once more. Right now, I'm just doing the commercials from our sponsors. And if you would like to be a sponsor of my show, as well as any other show on D30radio.com, make sure that you hit me up at dearKedraNicole@gmail.com. And I'll be more than happy to assist you and making sure that we should get everything going. And you can also join me in the app right now. Let me see. Hey, Miss Ruth, how are you? I just posted it once again so that you all can follow me there. Hey, Caramel, how are you, Caramel? We're just doing our sponsors of the week. As you see, the link is right there. You can follow me there, or you can go over to D30radio.com. Hey, V. You can join me also on D30radio.com as well. And I'm about to give you guys these 7 tips. Yes, yes, yes. And I am back. Thank you all once again for joining me. I am your girl, Kedra Nicole, right here on D30radio.com, the hottest and trendiest internet radio station of all time. Don't ask me about it because I just already told you what's going on over here. Most importantly, I appreciate each and every one of you because there would not be a Reviving Relationships if you all weren't listening and tuning in. So thank you. For those that will be joining me later on because you had a bunch to do or you had to work late, hey, I appreciate you all as well. Make sure that you take a moment to like my show as well as make some comments. Let me know what you think about it, and it'll be greatly appreciated. Also, if you have any topics that you would like discussed, any birthdays that you have going on, or any other thing that you would like for me to talk about right here on D30 Radio, you can always send that information over to dearKedraNicole@gmail.com. So we're going to jump right back into it for the 28 Days of Reviving Your Relationship, the series. And yes, I am only going to provide you with days 1 through 7 because I literally have 28 days that I think will help you to revive your relationships. Yes, even if you seem like you have the perfect relationship and or things just seem like it's going so right, these things and these tips will also help you to enhance that even the more, take it to the next level. So I'm extremely excited to give you all this information, this pertinent information. I'm trying to give you I'm talking because I want to give everybody some time to be able to write this information down. It's not a lot to write down, but I want to make sure that you have at least those key components in the 7 days of what needs to be done. As you all hear, I am playing In a Sentimental Mood by John Coltrane and Duke Ellington in the background because I want to make sure that y'all understand how serious relationships are to me. And you know what? I'm not just talking about you know, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever partnership that you have going on. I'm even talking about friendships. Those relationships are important as well, because that's the people that keeps us going. Also family, friends, all of that. So it all goes into one. But this particular month, I am definitely focusing on our couples. I'm definitely focusing on are single individuals that one day want to be in a relationship, in a serious committed relationship, or even married, because hey, it's no better time than the present to learn these things. It doesn't make you incontinent. It doesn't make you too old or you're never too old to learn, okay? So I know that you guys are asking, what, Keidra Nicole, what makes you this quote unquote expert on assisting with failing relationships or providing advice towards even strong relationships when asked? Okay, I've had this discussed so many times. And here's the thing. Yes, I've had some broken relationships, past and present. Yes, I've had some broken hearts, past and present. I've even been divorced twice. But you know what makes me the expert is because I have actually learned from those moments. I've actually learned from the broken hearts. I've actually learned from the divorces. And not saying everything was my fault, not saying everything was their fault, but I learned. And that's why I wrote that information, well, the majority of that information in my book, Reviving Relationships, Righting My Wrongs in Order to Make Yours Right. So it makes me an expert because of my past broken relationships, my 2 divorces, my past and my current desires, because sometimes your desires from your past is simply that. It's just a past, because you've grown, you've matured, you've learned. So things can change up with your desires, and that's perfectly fine. But most importantly, because I put all of my things on the foundation of Christ, on God. And everybody has their own beliefs. I do believe there is a God. That is my belief. And it's one scripture in particular that I definitely go to when it comes down to a lot of these relationships, as well as my own. And that is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. A lot of people know that I enjoy reading from the New Living Translation version. And it reads, "Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable and keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out." This is my favorite part of that scripture, and it's verse number 7. Love never gives up. Love never loses faith. And love is always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. That's how powerful love is. Love will weather the storm, baby. Let me tell you about real love. It will, till death do you part. That's how strong that love is. And even sometimes after the death has done you part, that love, it holds on so tight. That's why if you see a lot of older people from your past or whatnot, if one of the individuals died, and shortly thereafter their partner dies shortly there, because that's how strong their love was, and they've built it off of something that was so vital and important to them, whether it was because of their faith and their belief, or whether it was because of how strong of a bond they had, and they realized, I can't be without my friend. I can't be without the person that I grew to love. And that's another thing that we do need to recognize and realize. You don't fall in love, okay? Let me say that one more time. You do not fall in love with an individual. You grow to love that person. Why do you say you grow to love that person, Keidra Nicole? Because It takes situations. It takes time. And if you realize the process of growth, whether it's from a seed to now a full-blown tree, it took time for that oak tree to be just a little small skinny branch with a few little leaves on it to now grow into this massive oak tree that now we can sit underneath and enjoy a picnic, or this massive tree that can shade us from the sun. It took time to get to that place. And that's why love takes time. Now, do I believe in organic connections? And do I believe there is a such thing as it takes so much time for you to realize if you want to be with a person? No. I don't believe it takes a lot of time for you to realize what it is that you need from an individual or you desire from an individual. So time doesn't really exist when it comes down to relationships, but time does exist when it comes down to the matters of love, to the concept of love, but not to the matters of the heart. Two completely different things. So I hope you guys kind of understood that. Well, let me get into it, because I know that y'all are ready. You got your pen and your paper ready. And I am too. Okay. So this is the first part of the 28 days of reviving your relationship series. I'm giving you the first 7 days. Get your pen and your paper ready. Or you can always go back and re-listen to the podcast and know what you need to do. Okay, reason why I'm giving you 7 is because you're going to have 7 days to do this in. You can mix it up. You can match it up. You can switch it up however you want to. But within these next 7 days, starting February the 1st, okay, so February the 1st through February the 7th, these are some things that I suggest you do to help you to revive your relationship, or to even add an extra boost of energy to your relationship. So if your relationship is all good, you like, Keisha Nicole, I'm good over here. We don't need all of that. Yes, you do. Because it's okay to add a little extra pizzazz and spice to it. So here is day number 1. So tomorrow, which is the 1st, let your partner know how much they mean to you. How is that? Because you're like, well, I do that every day. No. Because every day you don't really try to make sure that you have tapped into your spouse's or your partner's love language. So tomorrow, I want you to really try to focus, or even ask your partner tonight, what do you think your love language is? If you are unsure of how to figure out your love language, you can always refer to Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages, and it'll break it down for you, okay? So how to know your love language. Just go to that first. And then tomorrow, which is the 1st, let your partner know how much they mean to you. So if your partner's love language is physical touch, sometimes you don't even have to say nothing, but just to hug your partner, hold your partner, then give them that on tomorrow, okay? That's day number 1. Day number 2, which is February the 2nd. Before social media in the morning, give your partner your full attention. And what I mean by that is, because, listen, I'm guilty. I am guilty. And it's not that social media just has a hold on me. It's just, social media is a part of my line of business, a part of my line of work. So it's kind of like, well, let me see what's going on so I can grab the best stories or the best topics, or let me see what people are talking about. So I'm guilty. Yes, I'm guilty. So, but before social media in the morning, give your partner your full attention. Okay? Sometimes we'll do everything else. We'll go to social media. If you have children, you'll take care of the children. If you have, if you feel like you just a full-blown prayer warrior. Now, I'm not saying stop your line of prayer. Let me make sure I make that clear. But if the first thing you want to do is just read your Bible, just say, God, I know you know. At least tell your partner, give your partner a kiss or kind of snuggle up a little to them. Make sure that they know that I know you're there. That's what I'm saying. And then you can go on to reading your Bible. You can go ahead on to go into your prayer closet and into your prayer room and pray. I'm not stopping now. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in reading your word. Believe you me, I will pray about everything. I will pray if it's too cold outside. Father God, in the name of Jesus, let this weather be warm, like the warmth of my heart. I say stuff like that. But sometimes we do that so often, so much. There's no break. There's no change of scenery, not even in your own bedroom, because we forget that moment. And sometimes that moment in the morning can make or break your relationship, or break your day. So, and like I said, I'm not perfect. It be mornings when I wake up, I don't feel like being bothered. It be moments whereas I have so much on my mind. Social media, social media is not on my mind. None of that. It's just I'm trying to get to what I need to get to. And I'm trying to make things happen that I can't focus. But if I just stop and think about how it can affect or infect my partner's day. Think about that, y'all. How you not doing certain things for your partner, how it can literally infect them to the point whereas now they are like just gone, just broken, child. Just, some people just have Dollar Tree tissue feelings, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine. You just got to know what you got, and you kind of roll with the punches and move forward. Move on now. But, like I said, February the 2nd, before social media in the morning, give your partner your attention. There is power in that. Okay? Day 3, February the 3rd. Create quality time for your partner. Create it. Okay, y'all, like I said, shoot, this shutdown, I know that y'all just now hearing about a shutdown and it seemed like, oh, it's only been happening for a good month or two. No, this shutdown been happening for some time. Okay? It's just y'all just now hearing about it because people have started to actually break out and really become vocal with it. So let me make that clear, but let me digress, come back to. So if you're talking about, oh, I don't have the finances, all these nice open fields, I ain't talking about a cotton field, but these nice open fields that you can do picnics in, you can go to a park, you can go swing a little bit. Not swing like on a swing on your bedroom door that you swing from while your partner. Okay, that's a different topic. We're not on sex tips yet. Hashtag invest in your sex. So, but anyway, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But you can go to the park. You can have picnics. You can go walk in the mall. You can go just go riding around, looking at the different sceneries. I mean, it's so much you can do. So much you can do. You don't always have to spend money. You really don't. If you don't make that man a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go to that park, I mean, probably not right now because it is a little cool breeze, but you can at least go walking in the mall, y'all, and just kind of window shop, dream together. That's creating quality time. We forgot how to dream. Remember when you was a kid and you'd be like, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to have this kind of house. I'm going to have this kind of car. I'm going to have this kind of husband or this kind of wife. Remember that? We don't dream anymore. We kind of just be like, oh, well, I guess that's about it. I mean, we ain't got no money.
So I guess we just gonna mope around the house. And then the women be round there with they moo with they not the good moo-moos. Now my mama got some good moo-moos. But we be round up with these colorful moo-moos. I'm gonna be childish a little bit later on. I'm gonna come back to that moo-moo, that colorful moo-moo, and I'm gonna give y'all this crazy story that's funny, but it was real for me. But anyway, but these raggedy moo-moos with holes, you take off your good bra, and now you just Motown swinging. You don't know what you're gonna do. You got your worst bonnet on. You know, dress yourself, create that time. You think the men be walking around with these raggedy pajama pants that's made out of wool, not even cotton, so you know they thighs just sweating. You know their thighs sweating in them. You know, and then the t-shirts just hanging off of the shoulder like they got on the one shirt, you know, one shouldered shirt, or it be just look like it's so tight that they got it clamped between their legs. We have to do better. Create time. Creating time doesn't always involve sex either, because that's what a lot of people think. Oh Lord, if I have sex, that's creating time. No. Doing something that's creative, that's fun, that's out of the box. I posted something on my Facebook page, of course, also known as Keidra Nicole. So everything is Keidra Nicole. And I was talking about the idea of these dates in a box. You know, I think that's something different, something out of the box. No pun intended, but out of the box. Try something new. It's okay. Go outside and just sit in the car and look at the stars. Even if you're just sitting in your driveway, just look at the stars or look at the other cars driving by. It's just something. Okay, so day 3, create quality time for your partner. And like I said, these days can be switched up, because I know a lot of people on Sundays, they do go to church, and it's kind of difficult because now they're trying to get the day back started. But you can still create a time even after church, okay? Day 4, take time to pray for your relationship. Now that's a word. As Sister Fluellen would say in our church, that's a word. Take time to pray for your relationship. Not just for your partner, because sometimes your partner ain't who need to have the prayer. Sometimes it's you, okay? So that's what I'm saying. If you pray for your relationship, that means you're praying for its entirety. You're praying for your partner. You're praying for yourself. You're praying that you know, you're able to come together and be as one. You know, you're praying that no weapon formed shall prosper. You're praying that, you know, we shall not lose any. You're praying, you know what I'm saying? It's not just, Lord, I need. No. Lord, we need. This is your time to go into that war room. Not by yourself, but with your partner. Y'all pray together. There's nothing wrong with praying with your partner. You know, or for those that don't believe in the word of prayer, you can go and meditate with your partner. That's a way to connect. Meditate. Think on those things. Think on the good moments. Think on what you like to see for your future. Think on the things that you want to see manifest for your relationship. So day 4, take time to pray for your relationship. Day 5, queens, ladies, all the women out there, let me see you wave your hand. Let me hear you scream. So all of you queens, show your partner how special they are to you. Now, I know some people are like, well, Keidra, why you keep saying just partner? Why you won't say, ladies, show your husbands? Because some ladies aren't with men. Some ladies are with women, and that's their preference, okay? So I have to make sure that this is open to everybody. So queens, show your partner how special they are to you. Whether, and I'm not talking about just giving them sex. All right? Choose something different this time. Show them how special they are. Cook them a nice meal. If you can't cook, go buy something. That's Publix make good meals. Okay, Publix make good meals. You can order out at Longhorn. You got all these great places that you can order out from. You can actually download the Waiter app to your phone. They will deliver it to your house. Have it set up and prepared. Now, if you're like me and have a bunch of children, then I know that's kind of difficult if you want to do something like that. But you can always even set them up a nice bubble bath. Yeah, you work, ladies. I know you work. I know you work real hard. I know you work with the children when you get home. I know you have to work with him sometimes. I know you have to try to deal with your own soul salvation. I know, I get it. But this time, just let it be all about him. If he want to... Now, men, don't take it too far and do all this complaining and stuff. Now, if y'all ladies are like me, I don't like no complaining man. Just every time you turn around, they want to complain. But use this night to make it all about him. Run him a nice hot bubble bath. And make sure that you look decent. Don't put on that old moo-moo now. Dress it up a little bit. If the only thing you got in your closet are kitten heels, don't even put those on. Just make sure that your toes look decent. And you wash him. Make sure that you already have your shower out the way, ladies. Just in case he want to surprise you. But make it about him. After he get out there, dry him off. It's okay. Explore your man's body. Explore your partner's body. Have him lay across that bed and give him a nice massage. While you got some essential oils, going throughout the room that's going to help get you ready. And come on now. No, we don't need to wear no kitten heels. Let them go. Matter of fact, throw them in the nearest dumpster on tomorrow. I know if you live near my neighborhood, the trash day was today. But there's a dumpster somewhere. Throw them away. No more kitten heels 2019 and further. So that's day number 5. Queens, show your partner how special they are to you. Day number 6, write a love letter or note and deliver it to your partner. We have gotten so far from the old school ways, y'all. Y'all remember when we used to write them love letters? Now, I was born in 85, so that makes me 33, about to be 34 this year. And there used to be a way that we would write our letters back in the day, and it'll be to, from, date, time, mood, place, song, and then we'll say, dear such and such, I just want you to know that I care about you, but first let me drop these lines down. Oh, child, it was so many letters I wrote. Because sometimes, now being just serious and honest with you, sometimes there are things that you want to say, but you can simply forget. Or it can be as simple as you just don't get a chance to fully say it, or you can't say it the way that you feel it. But when you're writing, sometimes you can write exactly what you feel, how you feel. And I'm not talking about writing no hateful letter. I love you, but I wish that you would do, no. Write that love letter. Let him know. Let your partner know, okay? Because this one is for both male and female to do something for your partner, okay? So you're writing a love letter or a note. So if you don't want to write no full letter or pages of letter, then, get like a nice card and write something, or even get a note card or whatever you have, and write something for your partner. Let them know how you feel. Let them know that you feel as though it's you that should make sure that they are taken care of, that you want to make sure that you're qualified. I mean, come on now. It's a lot of things that you can say. a lot of things. And if you need help with your letter, you can hit me up. I will help you out. I'll proofread it or whatever you need me to do to make sure that you got it right, because we don't want you sending out no whack letters, okay? And make sure that you deliver it to your partner. You can be silly and goofy like how I would do. I would have been there, wrote the letter, mailed it out from I would take the letter to work and then mail it to my own address or to his address or wherever, and he'll get it. That's me. That's something that I would do. So you do it the way that you want to do it. But all I'm asking for a day 6 or for any of these days between day 1 through 7 is to write a love letter or a love note and deliver it to your partner. I don't think that's too much to ask. Personally, I don't think it is. So before I give you day number 7, we're definitely going to hit you up with our sponsors of the week. I know y'all like, oh, Keidra, I can't believe you. Believe it. And we'll be right back right here on D30 Radio, the hottest and trendiest internet radio station of all time, with your girl, Keidra Nicole, right here on Reviving Relationships. I'll be back. Hey everybody, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that you all are writing down and enjoying these tips that I'm providing you. Yes. Hey, Cassandra. How are you? Hey, Twyla. Hey, everybody that has just now joined me. We are getting it cracking right now. I am playing for the sponsors of the week. And we're going to get back into it for our day number 7. And then we're going to have our birthday shout outs. And then we're going to, we have a lot to discuss. Well, I got to give y'all my funny story about my moo-moo situation first, since we were on that topic for the 28 Days of Reviving Your Relationship series. So y'all already know I got to be a little childish every now and again and give y'all like the craziest stories or the funniest moments of my life every now and again. Not all the time, but sometimes. So make sure that y'all stay tuned in. Thank you guys once again for joining me. Of course, if you want to hear exactly what I'm saying or anything that's playing in the background, because I do have little special treats for my listeners on the Spreaker app. Hey, Karan, how are you? Make sure that you join me on D30radio.com and you can hear all of that music that I have playing in the background because it has you thinking now. So, yes, I'm super excited and I'm grateful that you all have joined me. Hey, Jazz, how are you, dear? Thank you all so much for joining me. I would not have a podcast if it were not for you. Thank you. Also, if this is your first time ever joining me on my podcast, I just have a few rules. The first rule is to make sure that you're in a place where you are comfortable and can relax. The second rule is to make sure that you have a good drink on hand. Yes, whatever you prefer. Most importantly, we are all grown, so everybody has their own opinion, and that's perfectly fine, but let's make sure that we respect one another as we're doing so. I don't know what's going on with my bun. If I get cut off on Facebook Live for whatever reason, you can always join me over on my YouTube channel, which is Keidra Nicole as well. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share as well, okay? Thank you guys so much. Let me get my radio voice back. Yes, yes, yes. And we are back. Thank you all once again for joining me. This is your girl, Keidra Nicole, right here on D30 Radio for Reviving Relationships. As my commercial just stated, don't get in your own way, because you know you have some businesses that you're trying to get out there and heard. You know you have some great events coming up. And if that's the case, make sure that you hit me up at dearkeidra@gmail.com and we can get that started up for you, as well as some good sponsorship and as well as some good listeners and followers. So thank you. All right, y'all. I know y'all excited. Of course, we are in the 28 Days of Reviving Your Relationship series. And we've already went through days 1 through 6. So I'm going to briefly go through them once again, just in case people have decided to skip over to see, you know, what else are you talking about? What else are you talking about? So day 1 is let your partner know how much they mean to you. Day 2, before social media in the morning, give your partner your attention. There is so much power in doing so. Day 3, create quality time for your partner. Day 4, take time to pray for your relationship. Day 5, queens, ladies, all the women, show your partner how special they are to you. Day 6, write a love letter or note and deliver it to your partner. So take time to do those things. And for day 7, kings, men, fellas, homies, what up? I hear you, I know. But you got to do something now. I can't just have y'all sitting back on the ladies. They doing everything now. So, kings, show your partner how special they are to you. Now, let me make this clear. The reason why I did it this way is because I want our men to start being a little more creative. So this is what I'm going to say, and men, y'all may get upset with me when I say this. If your queen or your partner runs you a bubble bath on her day or their day, you can't do the same thing. You're going to have to be creative and do something else. And don't be like, wait, she ran me a bubble bath. I guess I'll make sure that she get in the shower tonight. My sugar in my Judge Judy voice. Nah, I need you to be a little bit more creative. Step outside of your box and make sure that you do something special for that partner of yours. Because after all, they deserve it. They deal with what you got going on. They deal with, and vice versa. I'm not choosing one side over the other. Let me make that perfectly clear. But make sure that you take care of it. Step outside of your box, fellas. Because, see, that's the problem. You always want to do what we do. I've noticed that. Or, you know, you feel like the basic things is the main things. When really the basic things is just that. Basic and what's supposed to be done anyway. You know. So let's just make that clear. Step outside of your box, fellas, and do something special for your partner. And for those that are just now joining, and I know you're wondering, why does she keep saying partner? Because everybody has their own preference. Yes, I prefer men, but some other lady may prefer a woman or whatever else. And that's perfectly fine. You do your thing, boo. Let's just make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do to help revive those relationships. So that's the main thing. So I'm excited about that. But y'all, before we can continue on, because I already got it started. So earlier, well, a few moments ago, we were talking about the ladies in wearing these raggedy muumuus. And I mentioned these colorful muumuus. Now, I'm going to be honest. My mama has some amazing, beautiful muumuus, and they just flow, and they probably are expensive, but they look expensive, baby. She flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You can't tell her nothing when she in the muumuu. But there was this one experience that I had with the muumuu. I don't know why I want to tell y'all this story, but it's so funny. We got to have a childish moment every now and again on reviving relationships. And because sometimes laughter is good for these relationships anyway. So let me tell you about this time. I was placed in a muumuu against my will, actually. I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, and I went into labor. Well, I went into false labor, but at that time, I was in labor, child. The baby was coming. I didn't know what was happening. I mean, I knew what was happening, but I was just through. I was in pain. I was just ready. And I'm tolerable on pain, but this kind, if you have children, then you know what I'm talking about. But this time around, it was different from the other times. And I'm like, oh, Lord, oh, goodness. You know, somebody called 911. My aunt and my sister, I ain't gonna say which sister, but she know who she is. And I'm not gonna say which aunt because she know who she is. So my sister and my aunt was like, call 911. I told her, I said, well, call 911. Somebody call 911. They ran back into the room where I was at and was like, what's the number to 911? And I'm like, oh, Lord, we are all doomed. Then I had another aunt. After they called, finally realized the number to 911 was simply 911. I had another aunt down the hill because my parents have a steep hill, and she was at the bottom of the hill, and she was pacing back and forth, and she don't smoke cigarettes, y'all. Let me just make that perfectly clear. She don't smoke not a cigarette. But she was smoking whatever, her fingers. I mean, wasn't nothing there, just smoking the fingers. And she was pacing back and forth, real heavy and hard like. And I was just in so much pain, I couldn't really focus. Then I had an elderly lady. Well, let me just say it, child. I had my granny in my ear. And you know, ladies, if you are about to give birth, or you're in the process of pushing and about to push, usually it's typically the breathing form. So my granny was in my ear and she was saying, breathe, like with a V-E, not breathe, breathe. And she was like, breathe, he. And I was like, oh my God. And I was y'all, I was just all over the place. And I was just like, what is happening? What is happening? My two oldest kids was down trying to look to see if the baby was coming. I'm thinking, no, you don't need to be there. What is going on? They called the father of my youngest daughter, and instead of him coming to where he knew he was supposed to come, he done went all the way on the other side of town. Y'all, it was just a mess. So finally, there was, you know, my mom, which is the calm person in the room, and she was like, okay, well, let's get her on something quick that they can get to her in. So she was like, let me go into the room and get her one of my robes that I have. So she was about to head there, and my granny said, no, Ann, I got it. I got something that she can put on. So me not thinking, I'm just like, it don't matter what I put on. And I shouldn't have said that to myself. My granny comes out out of the room as bow-legged as she is, and she walks towards me with this muumuu, the kind that buttons down in the front. Y'all, it had every color available in the big box of Crayola, not in the small 24 colored box, the one that had 105 plus a bonus color in there. That box, okay, on this muumuu. And she draped it around my body. Y'all, do y'all know I went in that hospital with that colorful muumuu on? I rolled into the hospital with the muumuu on, but I had to walk down the hall of shame. With that colorful muumuu on my body, and some hospital socks. And I was so embarrassed. That's why I always say, don't you be wearing these muumuus. Now, if you got one like my mama, then that's perfectly fine. She has those beautiful muumuus. But if you got one like that one, Child, I had on a muumuu from 1976. I know I did. There was no other way around it. So there you have it. That's the story of my life. Make sure that y'all have people around you when it comes down to panic mode situations. First of all, that know how to dial 911 without asking what 911 is. That don't be down there smoking fake cigarettes, well, air cigarettes. It wasn't even a candy one. Air cigarettes and pacing. And make sure that you don't have nobody, unless they a midwife, in your ear teaching how to do the proper breathing. So that's just a little tidbit from my life. I just wanted to, you know, make sure that we're all connected. Yeah, it be like that sometimes. So y'all already know when this plays, what time it is. All right, all right, all right. You already know what time it is when that bass drops. It is time for the birthday and the anniversary shout outs. Of course. If you have any upcoming birthdays or anniversaries, make sure that you hit me up at dearkeishanicole@gmail.com, because if you don't tell it, I don't know it, and I can't put it out there for you. So let's go ahead on and get started. Happy birthday to you, Sarah Jones, Tyrell Jenkins, Tina Watkins, Ricardo Martin, Junior Davis, Uptown Thomas, Kevin Pride, Curtis Smith, my brother, Jaquan McGee. Happy birthday to each and every one of you. Happy anniversary to the Taylors down there in Florida. Happy anniversary to you all. And my brother, my baby brother, is having a birthday as well. Samuel Hassel. Happy birthday to you. His birthday will be right around the corner. You know I love you, boo. You guys have an amazing birthday. And you know what? Let me know what you did, because I want to be nosy. Thank you guys for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Hey, y'all. Hey. All right, Dad. I got you. All right. Let's go on and bring it on back down. Yeah, that story will never be forgotten as long as I live. And it's so crazy because I'm the only one that can really tell it. And really, I gave y'all the nice version of the story because it's so animated when I have to tell it. It's a bunch of animated stories that I have that I probably need to just really record myself, video record it, so that y'all can get a taste of all of those particular moments of my life, because it has been something serious. Yes. So back at it. Of course, I know a lot of people are like, Keisha Nicole, we know that we see you every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but do you do anything else? Why, yes, I do. I do a lot of things. So you ask? Well, you'll be able to see me at the Spring Gathering SEC Spring Gathering 2019, March 1st through the 2nd, right here. Well, actually not right here, but in Anniston, Alabama. Of course, the presiding bishop over that is my dad. Anais Hassel, Bishop Anais Hassel. So I'm excited about that. I will be there, of course. For some that know, they know I sing, so I will be there singing as well. So make sure that you come and join me. If you want further information, you can always look at my social media pages at Keidra Nicole, and it will be there. Also, I will be there in Montgomery, Alabama on March the 2nd from 5 to 8 p.m. for the mother-son dance. Yes, who is going to be the freshest prince in Montgomery? We will be giving away a trophy as well, so make sure that you check my social media pages out and you can find out where you can purchase those tickets as well. Of course, I try to keep you guys little posted on what I got going on and where I will be. Don't want no creeps showing up. Well, first of all, I don't think you want to just pop up on me, but just want to give y'all a little information. But Spring Gathering 2019 and the Mother-Son Dance in Montgomery. Super excited about both events. I know you're like, Keidra, how do you do it? Both events in the same weekend? It's called time management and knowing how to make sure stuff gets done when you know you're in a time crunch. All right. So let me get to the Dear Keidra Nicole of the day. How about that? We're going to get to the Dear Keidra Nicole. So here we go. We already got our, we already have our music going. Y'all ready? Like to hear it go. They write, Dear Keidra Nicole, I enjoy listening to you when I can, especially when you start talking about relationships. I figured I would write in and could get my letter read on the air. Please do not use my name just in case someone I know is listening. So, I've been in a relationship with my baby daddy for over 6 years now. Oh, child, that's a long time. But anyway, let me keep reading. At first, everything was cool. We talked all the time about everything, would hang out all of the time, and most important, the sex was on point. And she put that in all caps. I just gave birth to our second child about 3 months ago by C-section. And I would have to say that the sex had decreased during my pregnancy. I could count on one hand how many times we had sex during the entire pregnancy. Well, I had suspicion that he had been cheating on me, so about a month ago, I went through his phone while he was asleep. I was shocked by what I had saw. It was porn. Not the regular porn with male and female or female and female, but with a female pleasing herself. That was up and down his search log, nonstop every day. Mind you, we have had sex only 7 times since I've had our last child. He still doesn't know that I looked at his phone. What should I do? Signed, In Need of the D. Okay. First of all, the part that already just threw me off was the part that you still call this man your baby daddy, and he's been this for over 6 years now. I'm gonna need for a little bit more commitment to happen here. And you know, that's a long time. I couldn't necessarily see but once again, I can't pass judgment. Okay, that's one of my rules. I can't pass judgment, but I am entitled to my opinion, and I feel like 6 years is just too long to be with an individual and nothing further has taken place. And that's the only way that you can acknowledge who he is to you. Is he even your man? Like, are y'all even together, or is he just your quote unquote baby daddy? Okay. Now, I know for some men, it could be a turnoff when a woman is pregnant. So that's why they don't necessarily, even though sex is stated as a great thing to have during pregnancy, per the doctors. Okay, so I'm not just saying, because y'all know I've always said I enjoy sex. Okay, I enjoy great sex. But per doctors, when a a woman is pregnant, sex during that time frame is good to have because it helps with a lot of things during the pregnancy process. Okay, so I get that, but sometimes some men are just turned off by it, or it could be I would say maybe he's afraid, but this is the second child, she says. So but some men can be afraid because they feel like these myths of, oh, they're going to hurt the baby and things like that, even though, like we talked about on last week, there's ways for pregnant women to be sexier, as well as different positions that they could use to have sex during that particular time. So going through his phone, period, shouldn't have been. Okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of kickback from this from a lot of women. I don't feel, I feel like if I have to go through your phone to figure something out, then we don't probably need to be together anyway or have any particular ties, because I should trust you enough to know something like that. Or you should have some type of, especially y'all been together for 6 years, you should have some type of a relationship, whereas he can show you what's in his phone. Like, man, look what such and such sent me. I can't believe it, or whatever you have going on. So so that was a no-no. However, you know, I don't think porn is a bad thing. I know some people may call it mentally cheating, but maybe I don't think it's a bad thing as long as he's not reaching out to these individuals or reaching out to other women to seek for sex or satisfaction. Now, do I feel like y'all need to have a conversation because it's apparently bothering you for you to have come to me with it? So I think a conversation needs to be had, and you need to you probably should have or had advised him that of the things that you need. You should advise them, hey, I desire more sex. I desire more romance. I desire more passion. And once you put out there in the atmosphere of the things that you desire, not saying that you need them or if I don't get it, I'm gone. If I don't get it, I'm a cheat. No. It's just the things that you desire, and you want them to come up in those areas. It doesn't mean that they aren't doing other things to help in the house or whatever they have going on. It's not taking that away. It's just saying other things that can help enhance what you already have. And so there should be nothing wrong with having a conversation. Y'all been together way too long for you to have to sneak through his phone to find out what's going on with him. Now, I do understand that some men, they'll be with you for 20 years and still be cheating. I get that. I'm not knocking that at all. But when you're in this particular situation, a conversation needs to be had. And I think that you need to figure out a way to let him know that you did look through his phone and, you know, what's going on. Maybe that's something, oh, here you go. I got it. Don't tell him about you look through his phone, even though it's still wrong now. It's wrong. Let him come home one day. Make sure, you know, the kids are up or, you know, gone at mama's house, or let him come home one day and let him walk in on you doing that. Maybe that'll turn him on and get him to want to have sex a little more often. But also still have the conversation like, listen, I can't be doing this all the time, but I just wanted to surprise you with something a little bit different. That'll blow his mind. Let me know what you guys think at DearKeishaNicole.com concerning this letter, and perhaps we can put your opinion on the website on D30Radio.com, because this was kind of interesting. Now, it wasn't as deep as the ones from the past 2 weeks, but baby, this kind of scaled the surface on there. So it was really interesting to see what people have to say and how they think on topics as such. So let's get to this topic at hand with the Empire's actor Jussie Smollett that happened on this past Wednesday. All right, let me turn the music off because we can't be in a sentimental mood when we're hearing about this situation, because it's a very serious and deep topic. So on Wednesday, Jussie Smollett, which is once again Empire's actor, he was a victim of a hate crime around 2 o'clock in the morning. He stated that 2 masked men physically beat him while stating racial and homophobic slurs. One of those slurs being, well, I wouldn't say, homophobic slurs, okay? Then they threw this unknown liquid all over him. Thank goodness it wasn't like an acid or something of the kind, you know. And even tied they's trying to say a rope, but we all know a noose, okay? They tied a noose around the man's neck. And then they yelled, "This is a MAGA country." For those that are unsure of what MAGA stand for, that is supposed to mean Make America Great Again. Of course, that was one of the campaign slogans for Trump during his run for presidency, okay? So after the assault happened, he was able to get to a friend's house, and the police were called at that time, and the story was presented then. Jussie has openly admitted that he is gay. He's an actor as well as a performer or a singer. And you know what? It's not just him that has experienced these moments and these hate crimes. It's all over. It's just, of course, his is well known because he's a famous individual. Not saying that that makes it right or wrong or better or worse, but at least we're hearing that these stories are being true, you know. And y'all, it was just looking at some of the pictures, you know, it's an outrage. What makes you so upset with an individual that you have to do them bodily harm? What puts you in that mindset of, I need to hurt him or her because of their race or their sexual preference or their beliefs? Who made you the individual to dictate that? That is beyond me. There is no way I would be, you know, people fail to realize this thing called karma. It comes back in ways that you will never imagine. It'll come back in ways. And if it don't get to you, it can possibly get to your children. I mean, it could be a generational thing. All because you didn't like somebody. It's a lot of people that I dislike, but there's no way that I would go to the extreme of doing bodily harm to the point they could have killed this man. For what? Because he's a certain race? Because he has a certain sexual preference? Who gives you the right to judge? Who gives you the right to say what's right and what's wrong? Who should be here and who shouldn't be here? Obviously, he's here for a reason. And thank goodness he wasn't hurt to the extent of y'all could have killed this man. They probably don't care. I don't know, because I don't know what people think. I can only say what I think. And what I think that was completely unnecessary. And God have mercy on your soul. Because, like I said, when that thing called karma kicks in, you can't do people like this and just think that you're going to get... And then, what we fail to realize, stuff is so technology, has so much technology. How do you know that a Skycam wasn't watching you, or somebody from weren't, you know, child, people record everything. They record you fighting. They record you cussing somebody out. They record you shouting in church. They record you praying. They record everything, which is nothing wrong. You got free will to do what you want to do. But what I'm saying, all of these possibilities of technology, and you choose to do something like this to an innocent person, just probably minding his own business or just getting off work or just leaving the studio, whatever he was doing, it doesn't matter. He was not bothering you. And obviously it seems as if they had to have been following him for a while to have known his routine or where he goes or where he walks. You know, I definitely want to keep him and his family in prayer during this moment, because it could have been the other way, but I'm grateful that it didn't happen that way for him and for his family. And instead of his family having to celebrate his life through death, you know, they can celebrate him for the rest of these few years that's happening for him. So, whew, y'all, we gotta do better as a society, as a human race. What happened to just minding your own business? Making sure that, you know, what happened to the neighbor system? Like, you know, everybody cool. We take care of everybody, you know, we don't do that nowadays. Y'all see people on the brink of fighting, and instead of y'all trying to help break it up, y'all try to record and say, world star, whatever you say. Ain't nobody trying to stop it. I remember one time last year, it was two girls started fighting. One of the girls had children in the car. The other girl, her car was still actually rolling while the girl was trying to punch her through the window. All these, now I'm short. I stand maybe 5'1", maybe 5'2", so maybe 5'1.5". I'll give a take, y'all. I'm really short and I'm small. So these two individuals fighting, and I'm talking about, it was some big, tall men, heavy men. Instead of them trying to break up the fight, they recording. So I'm trying to break up the fight, and I know that was the dangerous move on my end. I know it was, but I just could not see these two beautiful women fighting each other, and it's children in the car. That's ridiculous. It wasn't me jumping in their business. It was me saying, this is not the place, not the time, or not the behavior that we should be setting. Not in front of these children and not in front of these cameras, because that's ridiculous. Now, instead of... Then one of the babies started to get out the car and try to walk over. They screaming and crying, so I'm trying to break them up, keep the children in the car. And I'm just thinking, y'all, we do too much. Okay, we do too much for the most dumbest things. Woo! Stuff be so stupid. You know, and then we wondering why it's so much animosity, not even animosity, unnecessary animosity, so much disloyalty. We wonder why. It's because we do stuff for the craziest reasons. We're too old. And then we're not teaching the ones that are growing up behind us to say, no, I don't need to do all of that. If I got an issue with somebody, I know how to go to that person and have a conversation. Or I'll be able to, I know how to just kind of like, okay, let me just keep my distance for a while. Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. And I don't want it to turn into something unnecessary. But they know where I'm at. You know, listen, I'm a lover, not a fighter, but don't push me now. I'm just because I don't want nobody to walk up on me saying, oh, she a lover, not a fighter, and try to punch me in my face. Because that's going to be the last piece of hand that you throw before I break it off. I don't promote violence, but some of this stuff be unnecessary, y'all. It really do. And we need to get ourselves together because that was ridiculous. You know, stay in your lane. Mind your own business. You talking about this is a MAGA country, Make America Great Again country. That ain't making America great again. It's making it worse. And it's adding more unnecessary situations on top of what needs to be added. Get it together, grown folk. Okay? We wonder why these children running amok out here because we ain't got it together. And they like, well, you're not doing nothing. Why should I? You're not making an example. Why should I? Let's get it together. And folks, don't be just running up on people because y'all going to end up running up on the wrong one day. And that's going to be it. I've heard of incidents. I'm trying to tell y'all, stay in your lane. Mind your own business. Now, if you see something happening and you know it's wrong, call 911. That's okay. In this case, for Jussie Smollett, somebody nearby should have called 911. You're still minding your business, but you're making sure that somebody is safe because you've seen it happen. So I just hope if someone saw it happen that they come forth with the story and help the situation or help these men get caught that assaulted him. And like I said, make sure that you pray for people. You never know what people are going through. People can be smiling one day and be ready to commit suicide just that night. Y'all, suicidal thoughts are real. They are definitely real. Make sure that you stay prayed up. Pray for people. Support people. Help build people up. Stop trying to tear everybody down because they're not like you. Nobody is like you. Even twins are not fully alike. Identical twins aren't fully alike. It's something that they have that's slightly different from the other. That's what makes them genetically different. And we have to always be in remembrance of that moment. So I hope y'all have what I have to say. Listen, I know sometimes I can be preaching to the choir, but I always take heed to what I say. I don't trust nobody that give advice but can never take their own. That's just my thought. And I take my own advice quite often. All the time, really. Because it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So let's try to smooth away from that topic. We're going to come through with these sponsor of the week before we can get into our last topic of the night, which is our sex tips. Yes, I want y'all to go ahead on and put it in there. Hashtag. I'm sorry. I can't even think. And that stuff that made me so mad. Okay, so if you are watching me live, I need you to hashtag invest in your sex. And up next, we're going to have some sex tips coming up momentarily right here on D30 Radio. Hey, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hey, Kirsten. Hey, Sam. Hey, Jacinta. Up next, we're going to have some sex tips. And it's going to be all the way dope. Y'all already know. That's right. Hashtag invest in your sex. That's the problem. We don't never want to invest in it. I'm super excited for this particular topic. Y'all know me. I love sex anyway, but it's natural. It is what it is. But sometimes we need to be able to invest in our sex. Jacinta, do you have any, do you have a website that people can go to for your bedroom candy? If so, make sure that you post it below so everybody can see what you have going on. Y'all, we're about to get started momentarily. Y'all already know we've already given out those 7 days of what you need to do for the next 7 days to help revive your relationships. Then on next Thursday, I'm going to give you days 8 through 14. And we're going to get started with the series 28 Days of Reviving Your Relationship, y'all. It's going to be lit all February long. I'm just excited that January is over. Whew! I'm so glad that it is over. And we're going to do this invest in your sex moment. And then we will be ending. Y'all, I swear this time seems like it's going too fast for me. Yes, yes, yes. If you want to become an Ink Beauty today, make sure that you check them out, as well as all of our wonderful sponsors for D30 Radio, the hottest and trendiest internet radio station of all time. This is your girl, Keidra Nicole, with Reviving Relationships. I am super excited, but also kind of sad because the time is vastly slowing down, winding down, and trying to get on up out of here. I'm telling y'all, we just have too much fun on this show. We talk about some of everything, but it all makes sense. It all comes together. Of course, if you have some hot topics that you would like discussed on the show, or if you have something that you want to talk about, make sure that you hit me up at dearkeidrenicole.com. And I'm sorry, dearkeidrenicole@gmail.com, and we'll make sure that we get those things on. If you have any businesses or any upcoming events that you would like aired on the show as well, make sure that you hit me up as well on that same Gmail account, Keidra Nicole, dear Keidra Nicole @gmail.com. Yeah, the time is really winding down. I'm getting tired. Y'all know I'm old. So I know that you guys are ready for this segment of Invest in Your Sex. Yes, hashtag me on it. Make sure that you let people know. Hashtag Invest in Your Sex. Hashtag Keidra Nicole. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm super excited for this moment. I know some people are just like, girl, you talk about sex all the time. Well, truth be told, if sex wasn't being had, none of us would be here. So, sorry to bust your little bubble. So today is being brought to you by brides.com, and this is talking about love and sex. 9 amazing tips to blow your partner's mind in bed. Yes. Woo, child. Getting hot just thinking about it. You wait till I get married again. God gonna send me that good husband, and I'm gonna be able to do all these little tricks and tidbits and really invest in my sex, all right? But until then, it's okay for me to read about it to kind of build up to the moment. So the first tip states, send a few raunchy texts. Okay, I've talked about this before. It is nothing wrong with sending your spouse, your partner, your significant other a raunchy little text to let them know, listen, you know, when you get home, it's gonna be on. It's some things we need to do. It's some things we need to talk about. But until then, I want to build you up. Because see, this is the thing I need for men to understand about women. We like for you to make love to us throughout the day. Okay, does that make sense? We don't want it to be whereas the only time we feel sexy, wanted, or needed by you is when we're in bed. Nah, I want you to tell me what you want to do to me. I want to hear, what are you really thinking about when you're sitting at your desk? You know, when you're thinking about me, not just how beautiful I am. Yeah, that's nice, but sometimes I just want to get to the nitty gritty. Invest in your sex, okay? So yes, send a few raunchy texts to your spouse, and sometimes it is okay. It is okay to get detailed. I can't remember the site, and hopefully I'll have it for you guys next week because I'm going to search for it. There is this website that you can actually build a sex story, and you can email it to your partner or text it to your partner. Like, it literally, if you read Zane books or things like that, it's as detailed as that. But only thing is, it'll ask you to type in your name, type in your spouse or your partner's name, and what else would I have you to do? It'll say, okay, do you prefer vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry? Then you pick that. Then it'll say, what's your favorite fruit? Then you'll tell your favorite fruit. I mean, it's very detailed, okay? I have that for you next. That's going to be a part of our sex tips for our Invest in Your Sex for next week. It's a website that you can go to, build your own sex story. So for those that are like, I'm not a good writer, they're going to help you out. So make sure that you send them detailed, explicit sexting. Yes, nothing wrong with it. Now, don't send them nudes, because some people are a little funny about that. And you don't want none of your stuff to get leaked. So just be careful. All right. So the next tip, it says, wait for your partner naked. So say for instance, he's been working all day. You already know the kid's going to be late getting home from school because they got some after school activities. And he's getting off just a little bit early and you didn't have to work. You know what time he going to come through the door. You done already talked a little bit. Go ahead and get you a nice shower. Be cleaned up. Make sure you take some, be ready. If you're a person that it's hard for you to get a little moist down there, use some organic coconut oil because it has a great taste, a great smell, and it gets you nice and moist without it being an extra greasy scene. Use some of that. Get you right. Come home. You be there naked, girl. Go ahead. Show him what you got. Show him you ain't lost a thing. Let him know you ready. And I promise you, he'll be ready too. Third tip, drag out foreplay. Sometimes we can rush through that foreplay scenario. We feel like, okay, child, if I go down on him for at least a minute or two, it'll be all right. You can probably pull a good 4 minutes if you got the numbing solution for your throat. But be afraid of that, because just like it numb your throat, it does numb him, and he'll go on forever. So pause on that. Anyway, and he feel like, oh, if I just go down and she shake a little bit, I'm good. Let it go on just a little bit longer. Every now and again. It don't have to be all the time, but surprise them every now and again, okay? Fourth thing is offer some no strings oral. Ladies, I've said this before. It's okay to just want to please him and not want nothing in return. Fellas, it's okay for you to please her and not want nothing in return. It's okay. Sometimes that should already get you to that point. That should be your turn on and turn off. Making sure that he's good. Making sure that she's good. And be okay. It's all right. You're all right. You don't always have to, oh, if I give him something, he going to have to do something for me. If I give her something, she going to have to, nah, it ain't always like that. Invest in your sex. Let me tell you, you do that a few times, if you do that a few times a month, just surprise him with a little something, something. I promise you, it'll be a lot of things that you can get from him and vice versa without all that extra added stuff, okay? So another tip they have, tip 5, is bring a toy into bed. Maybe a good 2 weeks ago, and you can always go back to listen to the other podcast about sex and things like that. I had provided you with some great toys that are upcoming and also out that are at great prices that could help enhance the bedroom. Don't be afraid to add a toy. Don't be afraid to add some beads. Don't be afraid to add some clitoral stimulators to your bedroom. Now, if you have a manly man, that, ladies, don't be trying to bring no beads for him, because you might just get slapped in your throat. And I ain't talking about... Now, let me make sure I make y'all clear on this. I don't believe in men abusing women or putting their hands on women the wrong way. But I'm just saying, don't do that. But we have bedroom candy representatives that are up and ready and available to help you enhance your bedroom scene. Bring a toy in the bed. There's nothing wrong about it. And let me tell you, guys, most women get turned on by clitoral stimulation anyway. So if you have a good clitoral stimulant in the bedroom, inclusive of what you already was born with your penis, let's make it clear, then I promise you, the sky is the limit. You could take her to the moon, the stars, through every galaxy. And it's more than just one out here. It's a whole heap of galaxies out here. And if you do that, I promise you, she wouldn't mind doing the offer some no strings oral more than just a few times a month. And more than just in the bedroom. So y'all keep y'all eyes and ears open to that. Also, make a super sexy fantasy come true. Now, some folks' fantasies just be all over the place because y'all watch too much porn. Okay. But I'm talking about just it could be something simple, role play. Now, if you want to go far, then if y'all like to go far, that's fine. Invest in your sex, okay? But, you know, it could be something where you just want a little more role play and, you know, a little surprise with that. More of a sexier outfit, more of a, you know, set stuff around your house and make it a little competition, you know? Y'all get excited. Hashtag invest in your sex. Okay. Another one they're saying is to add in some friendly spanking. Now, once again, I'm not a big woman, and I'm not talking about just in size and shape. I'm talking in height, I'm small. In shape, I'm small. In weight, I'm small, okay? But I swear, I think I got the biggest behind available, and I know I barely got that. But every now and again, I want the little behind that I do have spanked. Now, I ain't say beat me, okay? So let's make that perfectly clear. But I want to be spanked. Just, you know, tap that thing a little bit. You know, every now and again. It could be, and you have some amazing spanking utensils. You do have the paddles. You do have the ones with the little sprigs on it. So you have different things other than your hand. And don't just use your entire hand. You can't use the entire hand like you about to palm a basketball, especially for me, child. I'm small back there. You got to kind of just tap it just with your fingertips. But give it a little sting. You heard that? Just a little sting behind it. But don't beat it. I mean, calm down, all right? So add some friendly spanking every now and again. Use a makeshift blindfold. Makeshift blindfolds, they can be used with anything from your scarves, your your ties. They can be used with those as well, just the way you tie them. Make sure that you're still gentle because they are on a sensitive part of your body, which is your eyes. So make sure that you use those. But it says to add the makeshift blindfold with your friendly spanking. Imagine this. See, I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm trying to get somebody else. I'm trying to get some other people out here to have some babies other than my sister-in-law that just had her set of twins. So now we got to get somebody else pregnant. So imagine being blindfolded. Make sure that you have your safety word because some people need a safety word because they go a little bit too far. Have a little safety word ready. You're blindfolded and you know, you're slightly spanked. And then you're given a taste test of different fruits and whipped creams and ice creams. And you have a little honey and, you know, try that. Y'all let me know how it turned out. And let me know how far along you are. Now, I can't be nobody else, baby. Be nobody else godmama, but y'all let me know how far along you are and when you do, and I'll be like, oh, okay, so it did work. And the last one, they say, tell your partner how sexy he or she is. Let me tell you, do you know how attractive it is when your special someone tells you how good you look to them? And I'm talking about when they look at you in your eyes and they're just like, you are so sexy to me. And you know they telling the truth. Or they say it on one of those worst days when you're not really feeling your best, but they still let you know, even in your worst days, you are so sexy to me. Do you know how much of a turn on that is? Let me tell you. Add all of these 9 tips, inclusive of the ones I decided just to add in. Add you in some. Now, make sure, don't do it on your good sheets. Go get you some little cheap sheets from Walmart before you start adding honey and stuff. Like you may just even want to put a little, okay, let me give y'all some advice because I got a little more time. Get you some extra large, like the lawn trash bags. Put that on. If you don't have like a little plastic cover on your over your mattress, put that on there first. I know people are like, but I don't want to hear all that noise, but it's going to save your mattress, okay? You put that on there first, and you put that little cheap fitted sheet from Walmart over the plastic. Now, you may still want to get you a, I call it a sex towel, okay? Because you got to have some towels that you just dry off with, you dry your hair with, but you also need those sex towels when you already know it's about to be a good ocean tide that's going to flow through in the bedroom. Or especially when you know you about to have some of the little things added into there, such as your honey, such as your whipped cream, such as your strawberries, such as your vanilla ice cream. You know, make your partner into your ice cream sundae one day and see how that works out. I can give y'all all my tips. See, this is why I have 3 children. God is yet on the throne. That's all I'm going to say about that. And sex is a beautiful thing. That's why I'm telling you, be open, be honest with your partners. Invest in your sex. If you haven't heard nothing more or less from our show on today, hashtagging on it, invest in your sex. I promise you, I won't fail you. I won't try to fail you in that area. Now, I may fail you if you ask me to call you and I forget. But when it come down to sex, I try to keep my homegirls on game. No, you may want to do such and such. I ain't no pro, but I ain't no amateur either, if that makes sense. But we're going to leave it right there. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you joining me on tonight. Of course, if you would like to get more detailed into that conversation or into invest in your sex, make sure that you hit me up at dearkeishanicole@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to have a full-blown conversation with you, give you some more tips, some more advice, some things that have worked for me and still work for me even in my good old 30s, and that'll probably continue to work for me even when I'm 80 years old and even older. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in with me. You can always go back and listen to the show. That's one thing I absolutely love about internet radio and podcasting, simply because of that reason. You can always go back, tune in my YouTube channel. You can always visit me at Keidra Nicole. Also on Spotify and iTunes podcasting, it is Reviving Relationships. Make sure that you go onto those onto those particular areas. Make sure that you rate the show. You give a comment to let me know what you like most about the show. What would you like to hear more about? And I'll be here to assist you in any way available. Thank you guys once again. I hate that the time has been winding down, but it is definitely time for me to get up off the air. I will be checking back in with you guys on next week to provide you with days 8 through 14 for our 28 days of reviving your relationship during this particular series. Love you guys. See you all next week. Make sure that y'all stay tuned in. Have a great evening. Thank you guys so much for joining me on tonight. I truly appreciate you. It would not be a show unless you all weren't with me. Tonight, I had a lot of listeners that came on to the Spreaker app as well as on my page. Thank you. Me and you us never part. Yes. Love you guys so much. See you next week. Love you.